What's going down, everyone? Putting out another video, and in this video I did a mid-taper fade on Kiki curly hair. So let me know what you guys think. Put in the comments ways I can get better. I'm trying to grow each and every video. I do want to put out some videos on the tools I use and why I prefer them. And the biggest thing everybody needs to know about that is everybody prefers something different. So what I prefer might not be what you prefer. You kind of have to dig in to it yourself. But if I can help in any way, I'll love to be able to help you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Another video I want to try to put out is just practical ways for barbers to handle their finances. And you know, I'm new to the barber world and cutting hair, but you know, I waited tables for a long time, and you know, having cash in your pocket every day is a big temptation. And that's something I learned over the years, is to how to handle that, how to go about and save it, how to buy a house and show on record how much you're making. So I want to do that. Also, my wife, man, she's brilliant at finances, and she's taught me a lot too. So I would love to be able to help somebody in that situation. So stay tuned, guys, to those videos, and hopefully I can help one of you guys. I hope you like it. Subscribe, like, comment, and enjoy the video, guys. Alright, let's jump into this video. The very first thing, you all know what you gotta do: brush the hair. And with this hair texture, you have to go with the grain. If you look in the back of the head and see the cowlick, most of the time there'll be a hair pattern that you can follow. Brush with it. He asked me to start with a 2 and see how much length was taken off, but obviously, as you can see, I'm switching guards because it really wasn't taking much off. And to be honest with you, he's trying to get a little bit of waves, and the best length for that I have found is a 1.5. So that's what I threw it on. It's a 1.5 lever closed, and you just want to start knocking bulk down, get rid of all of it. He wants it all an all even 1.5. So that's your very first step, guys, after you brush. So when you get to his cowlick part, when you're doing this, taking down the bulk, you want to slow down. You'll even see me slow down, because the last thing you want to do is accidentally go against the grain. You'll end up patching your client, and that is the last thing you want to do. Especially with a newer barber, just take your time. I get if you have clients waiting, I get the pressures there. But you do not want to patch somebody. Believe me, I've done it, and it is not a fun experience. After you got the hair to one length and you got it all looking good, all the bulks off, you're going to want to set in your first guideline. And because this is a mid taper, I would say, I don't go up too high. Give yourself some room to blend. You know, especially new barbers, you need room. You don't want to get in a situation where you're chasing lines and you're going too high. And you can kind of see I kind of put the guideline a little curve to it, not much, because he really didn't want you know, kind of like a burst look taper. He just wanted something clean. So And then after you put in your first guideline, I always start with no guard lever open. And then as soon as I'm done doing that, I don't put on another guard. I just take out that initial guideline. I feel like it saves me time. You might have a different preference, and also as a newer barber, you won't get lost in the fade if you do it this way. After you put in that second guideline with the no guard open, I always jump to the one guard open. I normally use fast feeds, but I wanted to do a video on wall guard system, and in the wall guard system they don't have the zero guard, they have the half guard. So instead of doing no guard open, half guard one, I just jump to the one open and I'll create a guideline, and then I'll close the lever as you see I'm doing here and kind of soften up that line just like the steps I showed before with the fast feeds. I'm just doing it with wall. And also with wall, they have a 1.5 guard, which makes it so much easier in between the 1 and 2. And with this haircut, you obviously don't need to go up too high. So I just hit the 1.5 real quick and did that. And then I go back to the half guard open. Always start with your lever open and work down. That's the best way to do it. As you see, I moved the lever a little bit. And then just work down, use the corners, flick out if you can, and you'll see the blend come together. So if you're having trouble getting the bald line out, go back to the trimmers you used and just flick at it with the corners. Don't lay the whole trimmer on. If you just use the corners, it helps a lot. And then you might create a small little line that your clippers will be able to take out. So those are basically the steps. There's not a whole lot when it comes to a taper fade because you don't have a large area to fade. So here I'm just going to detail this side, kind of make sure everything blends right, and I might even go back at the end and detail a little bit more. But you can see how fast you could get one side done. It shouldn't take very long at all. Alright, so now you want to start on the next side. It's the same exact steps, just on the other side. So I'm not going to say much, but what I want you guys to do while you're watching it is out loud. I don't care who's around, don't be embarrassed, but name the guard that I'm using and watch the lever that if it's open, if it's not open. So I want you guys to really pay attention and get it in your heads, try to figure it out without somebody telling you. I said it in my last video, but if you didn't watch my last video, I want to say it again. If you ever see me flip the clipper up like I'm doing now and go with the grain, all I'm doing is taking away bulk. That doesn't necessarily dig into the hair, so it still leaves a little density, I guess you would say. It still looks dark. You're just taking away the bulk. And a lot of times, if your last guard you used with the grain was a 1, flip that same 1 over and go with the grain just right above it, and it really make the blend come together. Now we're going to start on the back, and it's the same exact steps. The only difference is the back is normally the most dense and the whole head, so you really gotta detail and you really gotta pay attention, because where you use the 1 guard on the side, you might have to use the half guard in the back to match them up. And with these tapers, a mistake I see a lot of barbers do, and it might not be intentionally, and this just might be something that aggravates me, is, you know, they'll do a mid or a low taper on the sides and then bring the back taper real high. I don't think it looks very good personally. I'd prefer everything to kind of go together. So if you're going to do a low taper on the sides, do a low taper on the back. You know, keep everything low. And what I mean by low, mid, and high is how stretched is the blend? How high are you going with the blend? So, you know, you'll see I try to keep everything proportionate to the client's head and what he's asking for. So like I said, the back's a little tougher, so you got to make sure you kind of really concentrate and really be detailed with it. You'll see me a lot of times flip the clipper upside down like I'm doing here, and that's just taking bulk off because of how dense it is. So I want to apologize for how blurry these last clips are, man. I wasn't paying attention to the focus and I should have adjusted it, so I apologize. But anyways, some people like to do the outline of the back before they begin to fade it, and sometimes I do that. This particular haircut, I did the outline last, so this is just me kind of lining them up, and you know, you guys know this drill. You do it every cut. And with this particular client's hair texture, the kinky curly, this is major to them. So you got to make sure the lines look sharp, because basically with the taper fade, this is what brings it together. So make sure you guys are taking your time with it. Don't rush the line up. Really spend some detail in it and take your time with it. So as you can see, man, the blend has really came together. I think it looks great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Really let me know. I'm really excited to hear you guys' feedback. As always, at Locals Barbershop, we try to give you the full experience, so you're gonna get the straight edge. And once we put that razor on you, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel like a new man. Really brings the cut together. Razor is super important, so if you've never had it done, go find a shop that will do it. And if you're in the Bradenton area, come check us out at Locals Barbershop. Well, as we wrap up, man, I hope you guys like the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And stay tuned to the videos that I mentioned in the beginning. Appreciate it.